PNC Park in Pittsburgh. The Pirates back in their home yard, getting ready to take on the St. Louis Cardinals in game one of a three-game series, a big three-game series before the Reds come in this weekend. The Pirates chasing the Cardinals and the Brewers in the National League Central Division, and they're certainly chasing the Cardinals, Giants, and Braves when it comes to the wild card. We don't have to tell you how big a series this is as the Pirates take on the Cardinals, a rematch of the National League Division Series. Greg Brown along with Bob Walk. And Bob, this is really what it's all about. We are definitely in the middle of a pennant race. The Pirates played well in Milwaukee. They need to continue that up here at PNC Park.
Yeah, definitely getting close to September, into the home stretch. And you're right about Milwaukee. The club really, I think, showed everybody how good they can really play, maybe what to expect going down the home stretch, and really making a little statement to the Brewers to say, hey, you got the nice lead in the division, but we're not giving up yet and looking just at the wild card. This team still thinks it can win this division.
Well, the Pirates made a couple of roster moves today. They have Clint Barmas back after that long stint on the disabled list. Bit of a surprise. They send Gregory Polanco back down for the last week or so before the rosters expand. Jose Tabata returns to the big league club.
Well, the way Polanco's swinging the bat right now, or not swinging the bat right now, I think they just need an upgrade on offense, and I think Tabata will give them some better at-bats. And, of course, Barmas is an upgrade not only on defense but at the plate over what Nix was doing.
So the Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals ready to play baseball. Francisco Liriano on the hill. This is what he did Tuesday against the Atlanta Braves. Not so good, Bob, but according to Clint Hurley, thinks maybe that was the outlier, that he'll get back to where he was before this start.
Well, let's hope so. Certainly what we'll be looking for tonight, how many swings, how many chases does it get outside of the strike zone? Always the key with Liriano.
Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals ready to play baseball. The Buccos have won 4 of the 6 meetings played here against the Redbirds. It is a crucial series as the Pirates and Cardinals face off in game 1 of the 3-gamer. Coming up in a moment.
Is brought to you by the all-new Chrysler 200, America's import. By Toyota. Now's the time to go places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. and by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, let's go Bucks.
And Francisco Liriano takes the mound for this very important start. Pirates renewing their rivalry with the St. Louis Cardinals tonight, and back at PNC Park. Great to be back in their home digs. Broncos taking 2 of 3 in Milwaukee. They have one of the better records in all of baseball at home. Check out Mike Matheny's St. Louis Cardinals starting lineup. And it is brought to you by Honda. Matt Carpenter, Peter Borges, Matt Holliday, 1-2-3. Matt Adams hits cleanup. Johnny Peralta is a .333 career hitter against Liriano. Oscar Taveras is the right fielder. Colton Wong at second. Tony Cruz catches. John Lackey will be on the mound. What a night for baseball, Bob, huh?
It is a gorgeous evening. Very pleasant out here. It's what you need for a big series. Start off on a night like this.
Liriano's numbers on the year.
Really coming off a poor game. We already talked about that. I think this first inning, very important that he kind of gets that confidence going and quickly gets the bad taste of that last start out of his mouth. And I'm looking forward to checking out that velocity on the slider. I think that's always important. We've talked about that since the All-Star break. When you see it up there 87, 88, that's usually when it gets the chases out of the strike zone, the swings and misses.
Matt Carpenter first pitch swinging and drives McCutchen back to the warning track. Wow. Carpenter wasting no time to drive one to the track in left center field, but it's a long out.
He'd make a good Brewer, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
The Brewers did all weekend, going up there and swinging at that first pitch. Got to be ready to go when you're playing defense first pitch of the game. Might send you on a long run.
Now Peter Borges takes a strike. Jose Tabata has returned to the Pirates. Hurdle talking about how Tabata has good career numbers against the St. Louis Cardinals. So we might see him in a pinch hitting role. 0-2 the count now on Borges. And a Tapper foul. How many times we talked about, as the year goes on, the different looks you get here at PNC Park, depending on how the sun sets. Well, that shot is different now than it was a couple of months ago.
You're getting a little sunshine playing through the stands on the home plate area. Borges actually casting a little shadow right now.
Well, you know, early part of the season too, as the sun sets, the center fielder has to deal with that.
Oh, for a couple innings.
Yeah.
Here we are. It's gone already. The days are getting shorter, Greg.
Don't say that, Bob. Strike 3 called. You can say that, David Rackley, the home plate umpire.
Well, for that at bat, it was all about the fastball, not the changeup or the slider. Threw a couple in there early on to get ahead and finished him off with the fastball that just catches the inside corner for the strikeout.
Borges talking to some of his teammates. Rackley, then Sean Barber at first. Stoney Randazzo is at second. The crew chief is at third base tonight. That's Brian Gorman. Here's Matt Holliday. And he swings at the first pitch. A fastball. 400 lifetime career hitter against Liriano, who is 4-1 lifetime against the Cardinals. It's his third start this season against the Redbirds. Fourth start. Which is taken for a ball one. You almost throw out because he lasted just 2 innings in St. Louis. That was back on April the 26th. He left because of dizziness. 1 ball, 1 strike on Holliday. And now 1-2. The Volvo defense for the Pirates. You saw McCutchen track down that drive by Carpenter. First pitch of the ball game, Travis Snider in right, Starling Marte in left. Harrison, Mercer, Walker, Alvarez around the infield, and Russell Martin catches Liriano. Travis Snider back out in right field. Oh, Russell Martin wanted that one. He froze it there for a while.
He's talking about it right now. Here it is. Watch the strike zone down at the bottom there, brought to you by Point Park University, and you can see that was plenty good for a strike call.
And throws another pitch after having struck out Holiday, and Holiday fouls it off. Got Borges looking after Carpenter fly down on the first pitch. Still gets Holiday 95 up and away. 1-2-3. John Lackey will take the mound for St. Louis. Liriano, 3 up and 3 down. Josh Harrison will be stepping in against John Lackey. Toyota starting lineup for the Pirates, who are 67 and 63 on the year. Travis Snider will follow, then Andrew McCutchen and Neil Walker, with Russell Martin batting fifth. Pedro Alvarez makes another start at first base. Starling Marte, his last 10 games, he's hitting over 400. Jordy Mercer is at short with Liriano on the mound.
We'll take a look at Lackey's numbers with the Cardinals this year. ERA not too good, but just 4 starts, not that many innings. ERA can move up and down, and been pitching pretty well of late. Throws a lot of fastballs first time through the lineup. About 3/4 of his pitches are the heater. Not a real hard thrower, but just decent velocity.
Deadline deal from the Boston Red Sox, the veteran John Lackey. Makes his second career appearance against the Pirates, and his first since June 16, 2004, when he was with the Angels. (0-2) on Josh Harrison. Stays 0-2. Jay 0 for 4 yesterday. 2 trades they made: Lackey from Boston, Masterson from Cleveland. So far, it's early, hasn't worked out maybe as they had hoped. But Lackey is a big game pitcher. There's a line drive to left field for Jay Hay. Holiday over. Harrison thinking too. He's chugging for second. He's going to be there with a double. A hustling double for Harrison.
Very tough for that left fielder to put the ball right on the bag. So if it's going to take a perfect throw to get you, that doesn't happen very often from that far away. So Jay Hay went ahead and pushed it a little bit, throw a little bit offline, and that's all he needed. A little crack, he was able to slide in toward the inside part of the bag and get that safe call. Holiday able to easily cut the ball off and keep it from getting in the corner, but wasn't good enough.
Since the All-Star break, the Major League leader in extra base hits with 22. Just able to sneak in. Super Bowl, the Allegheny Health Network shows you the safe slide. And now Snyder not able to do what he wanted to do, and that was to at least move Harrison. Instead, he bounces it to Carpenter.
Boy, that leadoff double, you got to move the runner. Too bad.
Josh Harrison leading off the bottom of the first inning with a double. And now he takes over the National League lead in extra base hits. Brought to you by Barrel Automotive. In fact, that's the Major League lead as well since the All-Star break. Now McCutchen, who homered his final at bat, ninth inning yesterday at Miller Park against Francisco Rodriguez. He homered twice in that series. Line drive past the shortstop. Harrison had to hold up. Oh, it was rifled past Peralta, first and third.
Absolutely. Bullet. Turned on something up and in. Fastball. That is a rocket. Jay can't go anywhere because the line drive might get caught. Another reason why you would love to see him move to third base. That would have obviously been a run.
Now Neil Walker with the infield at double play depth. Walker 0 for 4 yesterday. Did line out to center field his first time up. And takes ball one. One ball, no strikes. Now 2-0.
And for whatever reason, the Pirates just have a wonderful record this year when they're able to score early in the ball game. That first inning. You don't want to let this opportunity go. Put a mark up in that first inning, first frame. The other team have to chase you.
2 balls, no strikes on Neil Walker. 56 RBIs on the year. John Lackey went 11-7 with Boston before the trade, and a strike called on Neil Walker. Lackey is again 35 years old, native of Abilene, Texas. 6'6", 235 pounds, originally drafted by the Angels in 1999, second round pick. Signed as a free agent with the Red Sox in December of 2009. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. And just foul. 2-2.
Boy, that one was awfully close. On the chalk, just outside by a couple inches.
A double and a single. And a 2-2 count on Neil Walker in the bottom of the first. Walker had 3 hits on Saturday night, drove in 3. Three and 2. Is this a time that McCutchen, you think, or is it too early to think about running?
Well, I think on the 3-2
now,
pitch. I mean, to stay out of a double play.
But I mean, before even. We're talking about some of the numbers here. You've got Lackey.
Well, yeah. I mean,
he's been on the mound this season. 16 steals, just one time has an opponent been caught. And Tony Cruz throwing out runners at only a 19% rate.
Yeah, with the pair of them out there, you would think that the stealing bases would.
I don't even know that they'd throw down anyway.
Play a part in this game.
And the speed of Harrison.
Well, you think you would almost have to go down, try and make sure you stay out of double play. I don't think Walker's going to strike out.
3-2 the count. There he goes. Grounded to the shortstop. They get one. They get two. Peralta to Wong to Adams.
That was a little unexpected.
Inning-ending double play. 0-0.
Pirates Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by 5-Hour Energy. 5-Hour Energy helps recognize those who, despite their own needs, put others first. By the Chevy Impala and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Day Automotive. We're going to make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Second inning, 0-0. Pirates Cardinals from Pittsburgh. Tomorrow night, 7:05. Wednesday afternoon, matinee, 12:35 game as Neil Walker head into the 6-4-3 inning-ending double play. Just a few moments after he almost doubled down the left field line. Matt Adams tied for third in the league in hitting. Followed by Johnny Peralta and Oscar Taveras. Ties him up with that fastball 0-2.
Well, Liriano is really using that fastball very effectively here these first couple innings. That's been his pitch.
Fouled off. Still 0-2.
Soon.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And he got him. Struck him out, and that's 3 in a row for Liriano. Got him with a breaking ball.
Greg, I really think that pitch right there, that's that 88-mile-an-hour slider that we talk about that he gets some chases with, but I think he's really setting that thing up tonight with that good fastball.
Swing and a miss. Johnny Peralta. Hitting .266 on the season. His first year with the Cardinals. 18 homers and 59 runs batted in. ball, 1 strike. And it's 2-1. Ground ball, shortstop, dropped by Jordy Mercer. That'll be an error, his 10th.
That's one of the things I thought was a big difference in that series in Milwaukee. Greg, how well the Pirates played defense. And Milwaukee, really, that was a sore point with them. Let's hope that's the last out of the evening. I mean, the last error of the evening. Many more outs.
Then Franklin Barmes is back.
Yeah, it's really, I think it's really good to have him back over there in that dugout ready to play. He really does bring a steadying influence, I think, to the infield when he's out there.
Clint Hurdle has said he wants to get Mercer a day and Harrison a day off.
He'll be able to do that now. I think, Barmes, he's going to give you some decent at bats. Just a real upgrade having him back on the team.
Oscar Taveras. Taveras made his debut the end of May, homered his first big league start, but after 11 games was sent down to AAA, returned June 30th. 22 years old. There's that fastball, 2-1.
It's interesting to see if that was maybe in his own personal game plan to go out there this evening and really establish that he can throw that fastball in the strike zone, and they're going to have to make an adjustment, which should really pay off dividends as you go along now, and he starts throwing that slider and that changeup of his.
Another fastball and a fly ball to center. Two outs. Francisco Liriano, average fastball velocity by inning.
Now you can see it's much better tonight so far than the 92.7 or 92.5 the overall.
Chopped foul.
Another 94. As earlier in the year, I think there was many times he went out there and he just wasn't totally 100% healthy. Had the groin issue and a few other little ailments, and I think that the velocities this second half in general have picked up for him.
One ball, one strike. Peralta reaching on the error. And Liriano tries to pick up Jordy Mercer. 4 left-handed sticks in the lineup against Liriano, and they hit better than do righties this season against him. It's 89. Was that slider at 89?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah.
89 mile an hour slider. That's outstanding. But one thing for sure, it's early in the ball game, but Francisco definitely has brought his A game to the mound tonight. Good stuff.
Bounced right to the shortstop, so the error doesn't hurt. From the bottom of the second, still 0-0.
A picture-perfect night for baseball here in the city of Pittsburgh as we hit the bottom of the second inning. I'm Robbie Smikowski. Well, John Lackey wanted jersey number 41 when he was traded from the Red Sox to the Cardinals, and he wanted it pretty bad. How bad? He gave Pat Neshek, the guy who previously wore number 41, an autographed baseball with authentication from Babe Ruth. Pat Neshek is known as an autograph collector. He collects baseball cards, baseballs, anything he can really get his hands on from historical figures. And Neshek was more than happy to give it up. He's wearing jersey number 37 right now. Neshek is, after wearing 41 in the All-Star team. But talk about a guy that collects autographs. Neshek down there on the bottom right. That is the granddaddy of them all, Greg and Bob, when you talk about a Babe Ruth autograph ball. First, he offered him a watch. Neshek said, hey, John, how about we do something baseball-related? Actually, save Lackey a little bit of money on the deal.
Well, pretty special. Now, I heard the story, Robbie, that apparently before Lackey gave him that baseball that he told his mother. Story goes that Neshek was on the phone to his mom telling him about the Lackey deal and that he was going to give Lackey the number, and she hung up the phone on him because it was the number that, of course, he wore to his first All-Star game. The veteran Pat Neshek made the All-Star game for the first time. But those numbers are awfully important to these guys. I know how important that first number was to you, Bob.
Yeah, you're right. You know what that first number was? I mean, it was 41.
Well, that's what we were just talking about.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
I thought you were going to change the story all of a sudden on us.
No, it's 41.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I look at it, it brings back those memories.
I know it does. I can see a little tear in your eye.
Yeah, 41.
And what did you give the previous owner of number 41?
It was hanging in my locker when I got there the first
John
time.
Hallahan. What did you give John Hallahan?
Oh, no.
Oh, this is
no. That's my Philadelphia. I thought you talked about my first.
I was talking
my
about
first number was 41. Yeah.
Who was the equipment manager there? Philly.
Bushy. Kenny Bush.
And what did you offer him for getting a number 41? Nothing?
I was a 22-year-old kid.
I know. I'm kidding.
No, I've never offered anybody. I've always taken whatever number's in my locker. And that's the way.
And each one is very special to you, regardless.
I got here, and I was asked when I got traded to the Braves, I was asked if I had any preference, and I said no, whatever you want, give me. It's fine with me, and they gave me 43. That was the only time I've ever. Well, I was when my first 2 years as a Pirate, I wore 18, and then they gave me 17. It was hanging in my locker in spring training when I got there. And Hooley did see me look at it and said, do you have a problem with that? And I said, no, that's fine. 17's good with me. You know, it's no problem. Because Bill Verdon had come back as a coach that year and immediately took over 18, which, yeah, it's great. But I don't expect Bill Verdon to give me anything.
Oh, nice play over the shoulder basket catch by the big first baseman Matt Adams. Retires Russell Martin.
I think back, if you do want to talk about the old days, and we'll end it at this, was the veteran always got the number. That's kind of the way it went. But I know that probably over the last decade or so that's changed a great deal. We have all kinds of stories out there where a great deal of money has changed hands over a number. And I would imagine a Babe Ruth authenticated autograph on a baseball is worth quite a bit. Just a guess.
Yeah, although I do think it is an unusual case here because you're talking about Pat Neshek, who just a year younger than Lackey and has been in the big league since 2006 himself.
How many numbers has he wore in that time?
I think 3 or 4. But this one, the 41 that got him the first All-Star game, it was special to him. So Lackey gave him a baseball signed by Babe Ruth. Alvarez homered twice the other night. It's his third straight start at first base. Yesterday he walked, popped up, lined out, and then struck out against Francisco Rodriguez to end the ball game. The Brewers held on to win it 4-3. Two and two. fouled off, and nobody over there at third. 3 infielders on the right side. That overshift we see often with Alvarez at the plate. To center field, hit pretty well. Back is Borges, nearing the wall. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming. The big ball with a blast gives the Pirates the lead.
The big ball. That bat of his might be back, right? I mean, the ball is starting to get out of the ballpark on a little bit of a regular basis now. This is what you've been wanting. Everyone's been wanting. Pedro's been wanting all year. Get a little consistency with that home run stroke. Back to where he was last year when he led the league in long balls. Yes, I agree.
1-0 Pirates. Marte breaking ball. They fed him a fastball.
Yep.
And Lackey looks back at Cruz as if to say, I didn't want to throw that.
Well, then
but he is the pitcher, right?
But he shouldn't have. You can't ever blame that on somebody else. You're the one that throws it. You don't want to throw it, don't. Go Bucks.
Pedro Alvarez, home run number 18. It is the 6th allowed by Lackey in 5 games with St. Louis. Starling Marte has hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games. Left side, backhanded Peralta, no play. Infield hit for Starling Marte.
All right, now we talked about that speed here. You're going to see it on the infield hit, but we talked about using speed tonight to steal bases. Lackey gives up a lot of steals. But here we're going to see it. It's going to be put to use.
Yeah. Marte won't waste much time. Marte's 25 steals, the 8th most in the league. A strike on Mercer. Jordy Mercer was 1 out of 3 yesterday and 1 for 10 in that series in Milwaukee with a sacrifice fly. And Marte wanted to and then shut it down. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Longer than he normally waits. Deep breath. Picked up pitch out here. What do you think, Greg?
No.
Still won't get him even if they do.
Again, he did a little stutter step.
He should have been going. Breaking ball.
Back-to-back breaking pitches. Deciding not to go. 2-1.
Clint pretty much all the time has Marte with that green light. Go when you want. Another breaking pitch.
Now he takes off and it's bounced weakly toward the left side. Carpenter will throw it. 2 infield hits. following the home run.
Now, one of the reasons I think Carpenter was not going to throw that was because he was a little concerned that if he didn't get the out at first base, then you were going to have first and third with just one out. As he knows Marte is going on this pitch. And as he's going to field it, Marte's already rounded the bag. If he throws that, Marte could have been at third. So, smart move. Just hold on to it.
Infield single for Marte, infield hit for Mercer, and we'll see if Liriano can move them 90 feet. He has 4 sacrifice bunts on the year. Gets it down. Lackey on the first.
Excellent bomb.
Buccos host the Reds Saturday 4:05, and after the game it's Fan Jam featuring Gavin DeGraw live in concert. It's presented by Highmark. See Gavin DeGraw perform all of his hits right after the Pirates and the Reds play at 4:05. Go to pirates.com/concerts, and you can learn how you can watch the concert right from the field by going to pirates.com/concerts. Josh Harrison doubled in the first and was stranded. Holiday will make the catch. Pedro Alvarez goes deep. His 18th of the season and his 3rd in the last 3 games. To the 3rd inning. Home run for Pedro Alvarez as the Pirates out in front. Tonight's Allegheny Health Network injury update. Yadier Molina injured his right thumb sliding into third base while playing against the Pirates in early July. He has started swinging a bat in the cage, has been throwing. Pirates have gone 20-17 without Molina. Mike Matheny said they are not going to rush him back. And Molina is scheduled to start rehabbing, we understand, later in the week in games. So on pace to rejoin the club maybe sometime the next couple weeks.
Yeah, they really I got to be just looking forward to having some kind of a little boost in September with Molina back.
Here's his backup, Tony Cruz.
Molina for them a lot like how McCutchen is for the Pirates. Means much more than just the stat sheet. true leaders over there, if not the leader on that Cardinal team. Plays a very important position, obviously, the catcher. I mean, has so much effect on a ball game.
Cruz retired. One up, one down. Here's John Lackey. He has a couple of hits and 6 at-bats. Career batting average for Lackey is .122. One ball, one strike. We will see Adam Wainwright. He will pitch on Wednesday afternoon. He'll post Jeff Locke. Again, that's a 12:35 start. Tomorrow night, Gerrit Cole against Lance Lynn. 4th strikeout for Liriano, 2 up and 2 down. As always, we want to see how you root for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Be our AT&T fan photo of the night. Submit your picture via Twitter. Use the hashtag BucksFanPhoto, and we'll show them during our broadcast. As the Pirates face off against the Cardinals in a very important series, how are you rooting for your Buccos? Hashtag BucksFanPhoto. First pitch strike to Matt Carpenter. Second pitch he has seen from Liriano. Swung at the first pitch of the ball game and sent Andrew McCutchen back to the warning track in left center. One ball, one strike. Cardinals dropped their series in Philadelphia. Started this road trip against the Phils. Lost 2 of 3. The one game they did win was in 12 innings on Saturday night. Two and one. And the fastball missed high.
You know, Greg, with the Brewers coming back this year and having such a good season, it's really kind of these division series. It's so hard now to say, okay, this is the one. These are the guys that we really have the battles with. It's like everybody in this division now. It's such a competitive place. It reminded me looking at those Cardinal fans sitting in the in the stands. The Cardinals were who we had to duke it out in the playoffs with last year, but still, it's the Cardinals, it's the Brewers, it's the Reds, and look out for those Cubs next year. I mean, they've gotten a lot better. I think the second half of the season they're going to improve. This National League Central is
it's a battle.
It's a great baseball division to be in.
By the way, the Brewers will be in San Diego tonight. The Reds not playing. Strike on Peter Borges. Mike Matheny led this club, the Cardinals, to the World Series last year. In fact, back-to-back postseason performances. 0-2. Borges struck out looking in the first. .353 career hitter against Liriano. And he got him.
Look at that fastball last time. This time the hard slider down and in.
Back, and so is Press Conference Tuesday on Root Sports. First at 1, Pitt head football coach Paul Christ takes the podium to talk Panthers football. Then at 1:30, head to WVU for the latest on the Mountaineers from head coach Dana Holgerson. Press Conference Tuesdays kicks off this tomorrow at 1 on Root Sports. Strike on Snyder. And a fly ball to Borges in center. Snyder has grounded out and flied to center field now, as he figures to get a lot of playing time at least for the next week.
Well, he hit himself into that starting lineup, that's for sure. I mean, he earned his spot in the outfield. Stepped in when McCutchen got hurt, did a great job, and now he's one of the everyday three. How about how hard McCutchen hit that ball first time up? Just elevate it one a little bit this time.
Get
underneath it another quarter inch and be way out of here.
The Indianapolis Indians season, by the way, ends 1 week from today. So Polanco and others will join the Pirates on Tuesday the 2nd. Line drive. He's hit the ball hard twice.
Almost same spot. Just ripping it to left.
6th hit allowed by Lackey.
Just squaring it up too much.
Lackey.
Why does he keep getting up?
Keeps looking back at
I don't know. I think he might be like checking location or something.
Maybe, huh?
You know, I don't know. Upset about something. He looks home and gives a little shout, look like.
Walker hit into the 6-4-3 inning-ending double play in the first. This is Lackey's 5th start since joining the Cardinals. And working with Tony Cruz. McCutchen has stolen 17 bases. He's caught just once. Time called. Lackey gets out in front of Walker, 0-2.
Now we're going to have a little talk about this one.
Interesting talk.
A long discussion about the pitch. A shake of the head there, no. See, that's what you got to do when you're looking in for the sign. Shake your head no, and then throw what you want.
Strikes out Walker.
That's what they decided. Slider down and in.
And the first strikeout for Lackey. Lackey's facing the Pirates, as we said, for the 2nd time in his career. First time was when he was with the Angels. And in that start here at PNC Park on June the 16th, 2004. Lackey gave up 5 runs in 6 innings. Josh Fogg beat him
Get out ahead curveball. Dropped right in there for strike one.
To short, and the toss to second for the force. 1-0 Bucks through 3. Back in the dugout. There is his battery mate, Tony Cruz. And we are joined now by Gerrit Cole, tomorrow night's starter. Gerrit, here we go. It's already going to start, I know. Here we go. Sunflower season, everything else. Get ready. Gerrit, tell us about your last start and how much you're looking forward to the remaining starts in this season.
I think last start was a good step in the right direction, and I'm just looking to go out and continue to try to give us a good chance to win ball games.
And the good thing is you feel good, right?
Yes.
Gerrit, the velocity looked great. I think that's what everyone looks for you when you go out there. But not only did you have that velocity up there reaching 97 many times during the game, but your ability to locate that fastball in and out. How important is that to you, even though you are such a hard thrower?
I think it's important. I think that a lot of the guys in this league are capable of handling really anything over the plate. So it's imperative that you, I think, establish both sides of the plate, try to open up some different things.
This has become a ritual when we have these guys, by the way, just so you know.
I know you had a sideline, obviously. How did that shoulder feel on the sideline? I'm hoping it felt great.
Yeah, it felt great. It's just normal tune-up, between starts.
Do you feel any pressure on yourself here the last month of the season because of what you did last year? The last month of the season, you were such a huge part of everything, kind of leading the way.
I think we've just kind of collectively turned it up together. Not that every game's not important, but it becomes crunch time down here, and you can see the finish line, and you can start to see the light at the end of the road. And when you're in a tight division race, it makes everything else just that much more fun.
Are there times where you can just kind of think back to last year and remember those big important games that you pitched so well in?
Yeah, I mean, it's something to take some confidence off, build some confidence from, rather. But I think focusing on the present, I think focusing on the task at hand is important, because we got to take it one day at a time, and we can't look too far ahead.
Holiday will be retired 4-3. And Gerrit, especially against the Cardinals, 2 regular season starts, strong last year, the playoffs. So you really must be looking forward to seeing these guys, facing them tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just looking forward to trying to throw up as many zeros as I can and just try to not let those guys score as much as we do.
You know, we're watching, of course, the sunflower seeds, and it really is, I think, a sign of how close you guys are, that you can mess with each other like that. Have you ever been around a club professionally where everybody is like this in the dugout, in the clubhouse, all your teammates? It looks like you guys have such a great time when you're down there.
Yeah, we do, but and I haven't experienced anything quite like Edison. But I haven't been around very long, so I don't really know if my opinion really means much.
That's Volquez, Tabata, and Gabby
like Gabby's
Sanchez.
getting me a little bit too, yeah.
Line foul by Adams. Garrett, how about
Gatorade, folks? Gatorade, little Gatorade plug.
Perfect.
Hey,
Garrett, how much fun was having your dad on this dad's trip?
Yeah, he won't leave. He's hanging around. So I guess I can't get him out of here. But no, he had a great time, and I think he enjoyed Milwaukee. Kind of a trip that maybe you don't look forward to on the schedule. In terms of we have Chicago and San Francisco and LA, but I think we all had a great time.
Well, plus you guys took 2 of 3 from the Brewers, so they got all those dads think they're the good luck charms, right?
Right. Yeah. Enough with that. They
did nothing.
They're taking all the credit. It's unbelievable.
Hey, Garrett, thanks a million for joining us. And I know, it's funny for us to sit here and watch those guys throw those sunflower seeds at you. You try and concentrate on the answers, and it's not easy, but you're a pro, so thanks.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Gerrit.
Gerrit Cole will face off tomorrow night against these Cardinals, and there's Johnny Peralta ripping a single to right field after 2 were out, and that is the first hit for the Cardinals.
Peralta doing a pretty good job on a fastball. Goes Gerrit. They stayed inside the ball, and quality at bat. Got the hit. No more no-no.
And now it's time to try and get rid of all the seeds. I'm sure the pockets are full of them. Charlie Morton adds to it. Oscar Taveras flied to center field in the second, and
nothing dirtier
ball 1
than a major league dugout floor at the end of the game. There is seeds, and it is a absolute mess. I don't know how they get it so clean for the next game, but they do. There's that fastball again. Yeah, most of them have been in the inside corner, so that's really keeping these guys honest, Greg, on the slower stuff, the slider, the changeup. Located on the inside, you try and speed up the bats. Makes that pitch so much tougher to lay off and to hit.
Before the game, I asked Clint Hurdle about whether he thought recently the starters had been establishing the inside part of the plate. And he said that for the most part, individually, you look at the Jeff Locke. He tried to go in, didn't get any strike calls in the last time, but he said Liriano probably not as much as he would have liked in his last start. But tonight, he certainly is doing that. And as you say, Bob, both sides.
See, I'm a little different, too. A lot of ex-pitchers and pitchers now, they think of establishing themselves inside as throwing the ball inside, making guys move, getting their hands out of the way and actually off the plate inside. I think it's important that you that you get strikes in there.
Like he's been doing tonight, and
if
that is
strikes in there, the hitter's got to do something about it.
7 strikeouts for Liriano. 4th inning, and he homered his first time up, and really nothing new when it comes to Alvarez against the Cardinals. You know, the National League Division Series that he had was on fire in those 5 games. 3 homers, drove in 6 runs, hit .352 against the Cardinals. And really in his career, he has hit 15 regular season home runs against St. Louis, 4 this season.
Loves the Cardinals, doesn't he?
Well, the bull sees red. He goes on a rampage. One ball, one strike. In the 2nd inning, he was the 2nd batter with 1 out, and off John Lackey into the bullpen. He might have broken his bat there, hit it so hard. Wong is handcuffed. Had the shift on, and he hit it out to shallow right. Wong not able to handle it.
They tried to put something on his hands. The ball was up and in.
Base hit for him.
You know, Greg, one of the thoughts about moving to first base, I don't know if this has anything. I think it was kind of wishful thinking. Maybe it has something to do with it or not. But he could quit worrying about those throws.
It's interesting.
And maybe it would pay off with the bat. Maybe. Who knows what the reason is?
I thought that it would almost create more stress for him, learning a brand new position.
Yeah, I understand.
But you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. They want. Well, first of all, the Pirates just felt like they just couldn't risk it anymore. I mean, down a stretch, a pennant run, you can't afford to have a third baseman take routine ground balls and throw them into the seats, and that I hate to make light of it, but that's the case.
Yeah. But
they want the bat in there.
How do you think he was feeling?
Right. Horrible.
That had to be, I think, even more stressful, much more stressful than learning a new position. Maybe that's what's going on.
As each day goes on, he seems to be taking to it more and more. Nice job by Cruz, because Alvarez is very aggressive on those base paths.
Yeah, I think Pedro had that one do over again after watching it a couple of times. He could have got there.
Probably.
But the only way you can do it is you have to go almost the absolute instant that you see that ball bounce sideways off the catcher. Once you take the little hesitation to think to yourself, oh, is that going to be far enough? Well, then the answer is almost always no at that point, because you thought about it. And unless it's going way over toward the backstop, then it's too late. Certain players have that knack. They'll move up on balls that don't go 5 feet from the catcher.
Those dirt ball reads, they call them.
Yeah, it's like they see the ball's going to bounce, so they've already started at that point going toward second base, and in their minds, they will stop. That'll be the decision they make. Is they're already started. The decision then is not whether to go or not, because they're already going. It's whether to stop or not. And that's the edge they need to be safe.
There he goes. And fouled off by Marte.
Nice break.
Alvarez stole his 8th base of the season yesterday. Rick Sofield, first base coach there. And he goes again. Swung on and missed. And it's going to be a strike him out, throw him out, double play. Cruz to Wong, caught stealing.
That was an excellent ball to throw on. A high fastball, almost kind of like a pitch out as far as the effect on a catcher. Not nearly as good a break. He was a little slow getting off that time. But the fastball upstairs is forcing you to already come up out of the crouch as the ball's hitting your glove.
Looks at a couple of strikes. Reached on an infield single his first at bat against Lackey. That is heading toward the corner and out of play. Still 0-2. First of 3 with the Cardinals. Strike 3 call. Third K for Lackey.
The difference in the ball game. Here we are in the 5th inning. Well, today before the game, Pirates had a special guest. It was 8-year-old Joey Favis. He's from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, dealing with an inoperable brain tumor that was diagnosed in May. But that has not stopped this young man from doing the things he's wanted to do, such as becoming a police officer back in June for a day. It was a day named after him in Bethel Park, and here he is tonight, throwing out the ceremonial first pitch to Chris Stewart. There he is with his father, David, right there, shaking Chris's hand. They take a photo afterward. It was a great day for them. He also received a toy police car that he could drive around from the Bethel Park Police. A fantastic day for Joey and his parents, David and Cindy, and 2 sisters, Clarissa and Olivia, who are all here to be part of it, along with some family and friends. They're all wearing Joey Strong t-shirts with dog tags on them that have Joey's name on it. Fantastic day, and we wish that young man nothing but the best, Greg.
Boy, I'll say our thoughts certainly go out to Joey. Prayers for that young man and his family. It is great to see organizations do those types of things for young people like that. Your heart goes out. This man says it all the time. Giving heart. Make a difference every day or make a difference today is what Clint signs those emails, sends to thousands of people with inspirational messages. Ball one on Tony Cruz, who bounced to short in the third inning. Wong leads off this fifth inning with a base hit, second hit of the night for the Cardinals.
I don't know if you can hear it or not, Greg. You hear that on the crowd mic. Everybody over in that dugout yelling back. As the season goes along and the games become more and more important, that noise in the dugout gets louder. Everybody trying to help out in some way. Pick off, throw, everybody yells back. Of course, if you haven't already moved by the time you hear back, you're picked off anyway.
Too late,
but you still do it.
2-0 count. Strike is called. Colton Wong was picked off to end a World Series game last year.
Ball was a little low, but got the strike call anyway.
2-1, a very important strike call. Two and one. Koji Uehara, the Red Sox, picked off Colton Wong last year to end Game 4. Down by 2 runs. Ground ball. Stop. Mercer to second for the force. There to first. They try to turn 2, but fortunate to get 1. Nicely done by Mercer.
That ground ball in the hole like that, you got to make sure you get 1. But you know, once that's accomplished, then go ahead, take that shot over at first base. But it's just, it takes a long time to develop to turn this into a double play. You're going to have Neal kind of stepping off toward the shortstop side, so he's going to use the bag to as kind of something to hide behind so that the slide doesn't bother him. He can get a throw off to first.
Lackey gets the bunt down. Martin looks to second, throws to first.
Pitchers getting the bunts down tonight.
Liriano did it earlier in the second, and here Lackey moves Cruz into scoring position. Fourth career sacrifice bunt for Lackey, the longtime American leaguer. Now the third time around for these Cardinals against Liriano. Martin will talk things over here with the Bucco starter. Last time up, Carpenter walked against Liriano. First time up, he whacked a ball to the warning track in center. The Pedro Alvarez home run so far the difference. Matt Carpenter.
Kind of like the games that we saw between these two clubs last year with the good starting pitching of both clubs last season that could really dominate the early part of a game.
Strike 1. Cardinal offense not what it was last year, but they're still winning ball games. They had that phenomenal .330 batting average with runners in scoring position last season. And 1 ball, 1 strike. Carpenter has driven in 50 He is hitting .305 in these situations. Drove in 78 last season. 1 ball, 1 strike. And tap foul. Outstanding 2013 campaign for Matt Carpenter. Finished 4th in MVP voting last year. Led the majors in runs, hits, doubles. One ball, 2 strikes. And 2-2. The way Liriano has handled Borges the first 2 at-bats. Going to be extremely careful here to Matt Carpenter. Has good numbers, as we said, with men in scoring position. Lefties hitting Liriano better than our right-handed batters.
He's been pretty careful with him so far. Really has only thrown 1 pitch in the strike zone, and that was borderline high.
Got him. The chase. Liriano has struck out 8 Cardinals.
Well, happy 11th birthday to you, young man, and enjoy your night here at the ballpark. We have another birthday here, a special 90th birthday. It's Al Gottman, lifelong Pirates fan, born and raised in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There he is right there. Happy birthday, Al. Served in World War II and a 4-time Purple Heart recipient. He graduated from Duquesne in 1950 and spent some time, Greg and Bob, get this, with the old Pittsburgh Condors of the old ABA. 37 years with Pitt basketball as a member of the broadcast team and statistician with the radio team with Bill Hillgrove and Dick Grove. A lot of friends in the Bucks organization. Happy birthday, Al Gottman. 90 today.
All right.
Nice job,
Happy
Al.
birthday. And seeing his Buccos leading 1-0.
I'd like to say birthday wishes out to Frank Akers Jr., also turning 90 today. Frank, happy birthday. 90 seems to be the number tonight.
Liriano, a count of 2-1, sacrificed his first time up. Not much of a threat with the bat, but Lackey has fallen behind 3-1. Derek Lilliquist, pitching coach, watches his veteran pitcher walk. We've seen this before, and how frustrating it is when you see Pirates pitchers do this on the other side, and you say, how in the world can a veteran pitcher, in this case John Lackey, walk pretty much a sure out in Francisco Liriano? Bob, how do you explain it?
You can't explain it, Greg. It just happens. I don't know. We talked about it the other day. I'm guilty of it myself many times. Maybe not many times, but occasionally. And it's just something that happens at the worst time for it to happen, really, those leading off an inning like this. Because now it's like, okay, you have the inning is now set up the way the opposing manager wants it to be, to where he thinks he's got his best chance to score runs. I mean, that's what the top of the lineup is all about. And now you're giving him the bonus of starting the inning with a runner at first base.
Ball hit toward right center field, and the catch made, and a nice play in right field by Oscar Taveras. You've got a guy at first in Liriano who doesn't have a whole lot of knowledge regarding base running, so getting a little help there from Sofield, Rick Sofield, the first base coach. And we'll certainly be relying on Nick Leyva over at third should Snyder hit a gap. Travis Snyder has bounced to third and flied out to center. He pinch hit in the 9th inning yesterday for Gregory Polanco and fly to center. In case you missed it, Gregory Polanco was optioned back to the minor leagues, won for his last 30 at bats. Well, he'll be back in a week. And an interesting note, Clint Hurdle told us that new rule this year in the big leagues, if you're on the 40-man roster at the end of August, you're eligible for the playoffs. No longer the 25, so Polanco would be eligible for the playoffs.
There were so many loopholes in that, the old rule, that I think everybody pretty much put whoever they wanted on there anyway. But this kind of makes it official, makes it a lot easier. You don't have to pull any fast
no
ones,
DLs
and all that.
And the roster moves. Polanco option, Jason Nix designated for assignment, Jose Tabata and Clint Barmas back for the Pirates. Barmas off the DL and Tabata selected from AAA. Snyder gets under that one. And Adams over, and a collision, and the ball drops into the seats, and Adams looked like he went hard into that railing.
Yeah, he is hurt. That railing is very short there. It comes in just above your knee.
Oscar Taveras waving out a trainer right away.
Did he come down on the railing?
Another look.
Right there, you see him backpedaling. You know that he's in trouble, and then it looked like his face went right up against the railing. Padded, obviously. Side of his cheek looked like it slammed right into the top. Let's hope it's just a cut inside his lip, maybe.
Well, they're not many tougher than that manager, Mike Matheny. Do you remember when he was playing for the Brewers and he got hit in the face by a pitch?
It was like a 95 mile an hour from Loisel, was it?
Was it? Might have been Rich Loisel.
It was a hard thrower, I remember.
It was either Loisel or Silva, but either way, it was I mean, hey, 95 miles per hour right in the face, and he just stood there at home plate.
It cut him.
He stood there, and you could just see the blood pouring out of his mouth. He just stood there.
He never moved, never went down. You know, most of the time you see a guy get hit in the helmet, they go down. He took one in the face, didn't move. You know, they came out and looked at him. It was like he wanted to stay in the ball game, but his face was split wide open.
It was Rich Loisel, May 26, 1998. Catching for the Brewers, who had just switched from the American League to the National League, and in the bottom of the 9th inning, it was at County Stadium. The Pirates led 2-1. And Matheny hit by that pitch right in the face.
I had looked that up earlier today. That's why I knew it was
I know you did. Try to act like it's just right off the top of your head.
all the prep work I do. I figured this conversation was going to come up.
Well, Adams stays in the ball game after whacking his face there against the railing. And there's a double play ball. Routine. 6-3. 5 innings complete. Still 1-0 Pirates. Some fabulous shots from the Allegheny Health Network Supermo. To the sounds of Taking Back Sunday. They will be performing at Stage AE on September the 10th. Here tonight, the Pirates leading 1-0 in the first of 3 games. John Lackey getting up that home run in the second to Pedro Alvarez. The Bucs have had at least a base runner in each of their 5 innings, but Lackey has gotten help from some double plays. 2, 3, 4 men in the order now. Borges, Holiday, and Adams. Right side, diving stop. Walker robbing the speedy Borges of a hit. Outstanding defensive play.
You don't have much time with
Walker.
Borges going down that line. Everything has to go just right for you. The play took him to the left, which helped him out a little bit with the shorter throw. That ball right out in the webbing.
Holiday drives one. On the move, McCutcheon. That's going to drop and go to the wall. Holiday into second base with a stand-up double. It's the 3rd hit for the Cardinals.
They got it right on the money. This one, you know, I think had that good backspin, Greg, that gave it the extra carry. At first it looked like McCutchen might have a beat on it, might be able to run it down, but it just kept going and going. Got all the way out there to the warning track. When you put backspin on the ball, just, you know, like that good throw from an outfielder, when he puts backspin on the ball, get that extra carry going to the plate. Same way when you hit him.
Ball one on Adams. This ball toward the seats. Alvarez over there where Adams was earlier.
A little blood on the uni.
Adams came in tied for third in the National League in hitting. Tied with Andrew McCutchen. Justin Morneau of the Rockies, Ben Revere of the Phillies are 1-2 in the league. Two and one. Matt Adams will turn 26 years old on Saturday. And now 3-1. Speaking of birthdays, Luke Brown, 20 years old today. Big Bucko fan. Luke, happy birthday. 3-1 on Adams with Holiday at second. And now 3-2.
Zach got that one, though. You tried to slip it in.
No,
wasn't listening.
that's not true. I actually pointed to the piece of paper. Zach, our stage manager, keeps score.
All of our birthday wishes.
While we have a moment, well wishes, as we mentioned, at Adams and McCutchen and Yasiel Puig.
And baseball's all about numbers.
Yep.
Got to keep them.
Is the second walk.
Just setting up a double play.
Free Shirt Friday. Pedro Alvarez models the one you'll be receiving, the El Toro t-shirt to the first 25,000 fans that come to the game on Friday thanks to People's Natural Gas. Don't forget about the block party on Federal Street before the game featuring local live music plus an alumni appearance by Big Daddy Rick Rushell. For tickets, go to pirates.com/Free Shirt Friday. Pirates, Reds, El Toro t-shirts to the first 25,000 fans. Back-to-back big series here at PNC Park. The second to last regular season homestand. Here is Peralta, who has reached on an error and single to right. Johnny Peralta with 2 on and 1 out. Takes ball 1.
Where all those fastballs inside might pay off in a situation like this. The swing and a miss on the changeup, and that wasn't a chase either. That was a good strike that Peralta came up with no contact on. See our UPMC Sports Medicine strike zone shows it right there.
2-1. Not a good one there from Liriano. He's walked 2, struck out 8. is 3-1. Johnny Peralta. Peralta has hit into 16 double plays. Matt Holliday has bounced into 17, the most on the team. Bases loaded. He walks Peralta. Back-to-back free passes to load them up.
Had it set up, and he just couldn't make a pitch. Ray go out just to make sure he's kind of feeling a little calm right now. It's okay, no big deal. Still got a chance to get out of this with nobody hurt with a ground ball. That's a lot about what a pitching coach does. Just goes out there and make sure that the mind is in the right spot, make sure the confidence is there. I've said it many times before, you're as much of a psychologist as you are a coach when it comes to coaching pitchers at this level. Ray has said his piece on his way. Russell Martin gets in a couple final words. Infielders talking to each other about things. Mercer just reminding Liriano there, just seeing with the thumb, telling him, hey, if it's to you, now go home. Don't throw it to me.
Pretty cool. They got a ball.
See the Pirate bench there?
Yeah. Well, here we go. Oscar Taveras, the rookie right fielder, has flied to center and struck out looking. They're loaded with one out for Oscar Taveras. And he misses ball one. Matt Holliday had the one out double. Matt Adams walked. And Johnny Peralta, the free pass. Liriano needs to come up big here. Taveras hitting .269 against lefty pitching. Bounces it toward third. Harrison to the plate for one. To first. They got the double play. Jay Hay started it. Papa Francisco induced it.
Ray did it again.
Uncle Ray, his words of wisdom. Taveras bounces into the 5-2-3 inning-ending DP. Big double plays this season, but I don't know that there has ever been a bigger one.
Well, this is not an easy one either. They're coming all the way from third to home and then getting the double play. And this is a good play by Jay Hay, but there's your Gold Glove catcher right there. Yeah, that's right.
Look at him. Russell Martin. A great shot there at the end.
Does he play with passion or not?
He does. Capital P.
That was just a great play by both guys. Jay Hay just quickly got in the ball in a perfect spot too, where he could make that throw to first base. There's all kinds of places where you could throw that ball where you're going to get the out at the plate, but you're not going to get a double play. But Jay Hay's throw allowed Russell to make that double play.
A lot of people involved there. First of all, the pitch from Liriano. Tap to third.
Absolutely. And go back to Ray's visit, right?
Yep.
Go on.
To center field, hit well. Borges is back to the warning track, nearing the wall. He'll make the catch, shy of the wall. McCutchen had lined the ball hard to left field twice and just missed that one.
He's definitely finding Lackey's pitches with the head of the bat. They're trying to go up and away, and no, that's not going to work. Got the fly out, but this is risky. McCutchen hits a ton of home runs right out there by the ketchup bottle.
And Borges again, this time shallow center. I'll give Lackey credit. He has scattered 7 hits, but the 1 run coming on the Alvarez homer. As Russell Martin will come to the plate. Lackey's last start was against the Cincinnati Reds. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, just 2 earned, walked 1, and struck out 7. Strike 1 on Martin. A couple of strikes on the Pirates catcher. A little 4-game hitting streak going for him. .415 on base percentage for Russell Martin, best among all catchers in the league. One and two.
I just amazes me to watch him play with the energy he does every night, and it's so difficult and so physically demanding to play that catcher's position, but he just never slows down.
And to watch his workout routine before a game. That's soccer. Plays for an hour out there during well before early BP as he flies out to right. 1, 2, 3 go the Bucks for the first time.
Pirates baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. We're driven to be better. And by Levin Mattress, located in all Levin furniture showrooms and freestanding stores. Let's go Bucks!
We're back here at PNC Park with the Pirates leading the St. Louis Cardinals 1-0. On to the 7th inning. Francisco Liriano will face the bottom third of the order. Colton Wong, Tony Cruz, and John Lackey. Bunch of Cardinal fans on hand as well. Baseball fans.
That's right. This is a great night of baseball here at PNC Park. Everybody can be enjoying this. Even the Cardinal fans are right in this ball game. But Liriano has tamed them so far.
There have been some great signs this year.
Look, it's kind of a tradition here at PNC Park now with all the signs that they. Remember how it was at
Three Rivers with
they were all
banners.
hung all over the place, the banners and stuff. Now everybody just brings them and holds them up. Jolly Rogers and signs. That's, there you go.
And a lot of first Pirate games for youngsters this season, which is great because they're getting a taste of what
winning
so
baseball.
many have enjoyed this year. And last season, Pirates going to the playoffs for the first time in 21 years. Grounded to the shortstop, and a little crazy spin on that Mercer's throw, and a safe call at first. Infield hit for Wong. By the way, a nice pick on the other end by Pedro Alvarez.
That ball kind of get cued off the bat or something. Really kind of an odd spin, as you said. But Mercer was able to handle it, though, and got off a fairly quick throw. Oh, he is deep on the grass. Hard to throw out Wong from there.
How about Pedro?
Yes, sir. He's getting used to it, isn't he? I really think that Pedro is going to end up saying, this is a fun position to play. You're involved in everything. Whatever happens in the infield, you're out there.
That infield hit will be it for Francisco Liriano. He will leave with the 1-0 lead, having given up 4 hits, including Wong leading things off. A nice bounce back start for Liriano. Up to the Pirates bullpen, Jared Hughes racing in. Start for him. He goes 6+. He strikes out 8, and he keeps the Cardinals off the board, though is responsible for Colton Wong at first.
Really, the velocity we saw right away in the very first inning. You knew he felt good because he went right after these guys with the fastballs, got some early strikeouts on that, and it really set up that good slider that We were just watching where he was just striking out everyone with the chasing it and getting them to just take it for strikes. They couldn't do anything with it. Good stuff tonight from Liriano. The velocity definitely was there.
Gerrit Hughes.
And this is what he specializes in, coming in with men on base and throwing a ground ball. That's what we're looking for. He's so good at it. Inherited runners usually go nowhere once he comes into the game. Good control from Liriano tonight. 17 first pitch strikes out of 25.
"91 pitches.
Up, Tony.
He got Tony Cruz to bounce to short twice. Runner goes, and it's fouled off to the right. Colton Wong, who has 18 steals in 20 tries. A very good jump. The ball fouled away. So it's 0-2 on Tony Cruz. Been much better this season for Hughes in terms of containing that running game.
You don't really have to do too much as a pitcher with Russell there. Just give him half a chance with some kind of a quick move to the plate. Get him the ball. He'll take care of the rest.
They got him picked off. How about that? Picks off Colton Wong.
Wong's definitely running it. He was just absolutely flat guessing, trying to get the best jump he can. You saw the little bending of the knee there. That's what he's looking at. He's looking at those knees. When he sees a bend, he's thinking, okay, he's going home. Because you bend your knee as you start your delivery.
And a base hit to left for Tony Cruz.
When you start your delivery, that front knee has to bend as you pick your leg up. Well, he's looking at it, waiting for it to bend. He saw the bend, and that starting to second got him picked off. Sometimes you'll have an umpire call that a balk, but kind of a gray area. Watch the knee. See the knees bend. He looked at that, and he started his move. But in this case, the knee bend was a pickoff.
Third pickoff for Gerrit Hughes this season. Now Lackey will try and bunt. Missed that one. But talk about Gerrit Hughes and the work he has done with the Pirates coaching staff, and in particular Russell Martin. 3 years ago, opponents stole 17 bases against Hughes. Not one was caught. This season, 6 have been caught in 10 attempts. Only 4 successful stolen bases with Hughes on the mound. Lackey pulls his bat back and takes 1-1. Sacrificed in the 5th. And it is bunted. Foul.
Wow. I guess it's good.
I was going to say, I'm thankful that it was a foul ball.
But I said, wow, I guess, because I'm surprised at that call. I thought, well, we'll see. Oh, yeah, definitely. The ball, he's going up and he's backhanding that ball. It's where the ball is, not where the body is or anything. It's all goes on that ball. That's what the umpire decides. Where was the ball when it was touched?
Well, he gets it down, and he will sacrifice the runner. He did it with 2 strikes.
Sometimes it takes 3 attempts.
Kids Day this Sunday. Pirates Reds 135 and all. Youngsters 14 and under will get a Marte replica batting practice jersey presented by Eaton Park. Come early for the #1 Cochran Family Fun Zone on Federal Street, and after the game, kids can run the bases presented by Kennywood. For tickets, go to pirates.com. Starling Marte replica batting jerseys. Here's Matt Carpenter.
These are those kind of little tough decisions that you have to make out there in the mound, Greg. You get the tying run out at second base, so you don't want a base hit. A guy that's pretty good hitting with runners in scoring position at the plate, but if you mess around with him and try to be too fine, then you could put the go-ahead run on base. You get toward the end of the game, nothing really ever gets all that cut and dried about it. How big of a chunk of the strike zone do you try to take? You just try to make the perfect pitches and see what happens.
I just think Carpenter's such a dangerous hitter. He's such a slap type hitter. 2 for 7. You just see him slapping one the other way against Hughes.
So you're saying they're 2-0 now.
Yeah, don't throw him a strike.
Be careful.
Yeah.
I think they're taking your advice. All 3 pitches well out of the strike zone. But that will put the go-ahead run on.
Carpenter 0 for 2 with a walk against Liriano. Liriano goes 6+ shutout innings. Cruz singled off of Hughes. Does walk Carpenter on 4 pitches. Now John Jay is going to pinch hit for Peter Borges. John Jay has been the hottest Cardinal.
He's always been a little thorn in our side also.
Jay had a 12-game hitting streak recently that was snapped on Friday against the Phillies. He is 3 for 8 lifetime against Jared Hughes. Last 11 games, a .469 batting average. Well, he's batting only .208 this season against Pirates pitching. He's a .315 career hitter against the Bucks. Ball 1, snap throw towards second base, and back is Cruz.
Jared barely got down low enough. Russell, he thinks he had it. He bounced it. Watch how close this comes to Jared.
If Martin gets rid of the ball quicker, like right now, and throws a strike, he might have him. Ball 1 on John Jay with Holiday on deck. To center field and a base hit. Here comes McCutchen. He bobbles it, so there will be no throw. They have a shot at third. He's safe, and it's second and third in a tie game. McCutchen felt like he had a shot at Cruz at the plate, but bobbled it. And it's 1-1, and now it's second and third.
John Jay has done it to us again. You gave us Pirate numbers. He's always been, come up with big hits against this since he's been in the league. And now that go-ahead run, Carpenter, just 90 feet away.
They will give McCutchen an error, allowing the runner to go to second. Holliday bounces it into left field, and the Cardinals lead it. Cardinals take a 3-1 lead here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, that was just a ground ball that Hughes gets, but occasionally they're not at anybody. That one in the hole, and not only the go-ahead run, but an insurance run as well, crossing the plate.
Matt Holliday's second hit drives in Carpenter and Jay, and St. Louis now leads it 3-1. A 2-run single for Holliday. So Liriano, a no decision.
By pitch well.
Down 2.
Really did pitch well tonight. Came up really big in an important game. Looks like that's going to be it for Hughes. It's Clint coming out.
The left hand hitting Matt Adams coming to the plate. He'll call on Wilson.
Of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices. Visit Pirates.com for details. John Jay delivers a pinch hit, game-tying RBI single, then scores on the Holliday base hit.
The hero tonight for the Cardinals, at least up to this point. Coming off the bench and got a big one.
Jared Hughes gives up the 3 first runs he has allowed since August the 5th.
Justin Wilson, see now if he can strand an inherited runner.
Those 2-out RBI hits for the Cardinals. They have 209 2-out RBIs. That's the most in the National League. Second only to the Oakland A's in baseball. Jay and Holiday back-to-back RBI singles. Jay tied it. Holiday gives the Cardinals a 3-1 lead. There's Walker in shallow right on to first. Matt Adams is retired, but 2-out damage. John Jay batting for Peter Borges. Singles in the tying run, and then Matt Holliday followed with a 2-run single that scored Carpenter and John Jay to give the Cardinals the lead. 7th inning stretch time here at PNC Park.
Join everyone watching at home on Root Sports as we sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
Pedro Alvarez leads things off 2 for 2. Takes the breaking ball from John Lackey. John Jay stays in to play center. Matt Holliday, big 2-run single followed. And now a roller to second. And a shallow right, one away.
Well, Greg, you said that Lackey's a big game pitcher. Looked like getting hit pretty hard there early in the game. First couple innings, had the home run. A lot of just barreled up baseballs. The veteran has seemed to just make adjustments as he got through this lineup a second and third time. Look up the scoreboard, and he's got a nice string of zeros going now. Need to do something about that.
Yeah, set down 6 straight and 8 of the last 9 that he's faced.
Now their bullpen is working right now, so any kind of trouble might get him out of there.
Seth Maness. One ball, one strike on Marte, who's singled and struck out. Hits even at 7 apiece, but Cardinals score 3 to take the lead in the top of this 7th inning. Marte obviously upset with himself, and understandably so. He wants this swing.
They chased. Got something upstairs. It's tough to handle any kind of a fastball when you go up to the letters, especially if it's in a little bit. And that is the weak spot for Marte. They're up and in the quadrant of that strike zone. I usually don't use quadrant much.
I've noticed you've actually used it twice in the last 2 days. I don't know why.
You did notice it the other day.
Yeah.
Okay, no more. That's the last time you're going to hear of it from me. Until tomorrow. I know that you're thinking about it.
Shortstop Peralta 2 outs. Nissan Road ahead. Tomorrow night, Lance Lynn, who's won 14 games, opposes Gerrit Cole. We talked to Gerrit Cole earlier in this ball game. Then Wednesday afternoon, it's Adam Wainwright against Jeff Locke. Off day Thursday, and the Reds come in. Nissan Road ahead. To the third baseman. Carpenter to Adams, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for John Lackey. On to the 8th.
Here as we hit the top of inning number 8. John Lackey getting hugs. That means his night is over after 7 innings, 7 hits, and 1-run ball for the Cardinals. Tomorrow we got Neil Walker as our guest on Twitter Tuesday. Use the hashtag BucksTuesday. Send in any question you have for the kid from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He'll be taking them before the game. We'll run in some answers during the game. We'll have a full-blown interview before the game with nothing but your questions on Twitter Tuesday. Hashtag BucksTuesday. Doesn't have to be just baseball, Bob and Greg. So if you guys have anything, fire away. We'll see if we can get you in there, okay?
Thank you. We will, actually. Robbie invites us to do that, thinking that we won't. We'll get him.
That's for sure. I'm doing it right now. Here,
Yep.
There we go.
I am as well. Questions for Neil Walker.
It's not working. It's not working.
Your pen's not working? You can't use a pen?
Oh.
You have one, I see.
It's got a clicker on it, too.
It's Pete Thomas' favorite, the clicker. Yeah. Keep that up. Pete likes it.
I know. Anytime I want to irritate him, I know exactly what to do.
Pete Thoma, our director. Adam Elmore, our producer.
Adam doesn't mind.
Peralta against Wilson. 1 for 2 tonight with a walk. Fly ball to shallow right. Snyder. Diving play by Snyder. What a catch. Once again, it's Snyderman leaping through the air.
He has really not only hit, but he's turned in some defensive gems over about the last 3 weeks. It's always so tough, too, because you know there's the chance of a bad collision. And you're going to go head first. It's kind of a fearless play. It could be diving right into somebody's kneecap. You go head first like that, that's a little bit of a fearless play. You can see when he goes head first, he also tries to go a little sideways just in case to try and make any kind of a collision a little less. He went left. He was hoping Walker was going to go to his right, and he did.
Fabulous catch by Travis Snyder. One away. Oscar Taveras 0 for 3. It's Pat Neshek, now wearing number 37.
Calling him the babe.
One ball, 2 strikes on Taveras. Cardinals have won 7 of their last 10. They have an outstanding record against National League Central Division clubs. 30-19. Whoops.
The ball high. Does that even register on our strike zone?
Let's see.
Look out. Camera shaker.
Does it register?
I'm going to say no. Yes, it did. That makes me wonder about the accuracy.
Yeah.
That was higher than that.
Should be up there around the K of strike zone above it.
Yeah.
And gets the strikeout.
Now, that pitch was exactly the same height as the last one, according to our strike zone.
Okay. Sure. This makes a lot of sense.
You can see the last one, and we know where that was. That one's right next to
interesting.
it. Yeah, very interesting right there. These are highly accurate devices we have.
Strike on Colton Wong. Infield hit last inning to start the frame against Liriano, and then Liriano lifted in favor of Jared Hughes. 0-2 on Wong.
Like Davis?
Yep. One and 2 on Colton Wong. Struck him out.
97.
1, 2, 3. Pirates have 2 more shots. Trail by 2. And we're going to take a look at tonight's AT&T fan photo. How about this? Mount Rushmore, South Dakota. Brian Bowser has the Jolly Roger out there. Thank you to Brian for passing that along. Hashtag Bucks fan photo or AT&T fan photo. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Yeah, they're getting ready, hoping for a comeback. Some rally caps on. Still believing. Bucket. Matt Neshek replaces Lackey, who went 7 innings, gave up 1 run. Lackey retired the last 8 batters he faced, and 10 of the last 11 before giving way to the All-Star setup man, Pat Neshek. Mike Davis bats for Justin Wilson and takes a strike. Davis, for the time being, a limited role as a bench player, with Pedro Alvarez now making his 3rd straight start at first base. Ball bounced into the dugout, and Neshek out in front, 0-2.
Look out. They got fences now to duck behind. There's always somebody getting picked off by those liners before they put the fences up. All the dugouts that used to be around Greg, where you just walked in and out,
yeah,
no steps, like Three Rivers. Those were the kind that really had to be wary of. St. Louis was like that. Nothing up there in front of you. Just like the whole front area was just steps. Of course, at Riverfront there was no steps at all. You were just basically sitting right there on a bench on the field. You had to constantly be watching.
Trying to get a rally started here against the 33-year-old veteran from Madison, Wisconsin, Pat Neshek, who has a major league best 0.59 ERA among all relievers. And popped up, and in foul territory, the catch made by Peralta, 1 away. Davis fouls out. One down here in the bottom of the 8th. Now Josh Harrison led off the bottom of the 1st inning with a double. When you think back to that very first inning, when Travis Snyder not able to move him to 3rd, and Andrew McCutchen followed with a base hit before Neil Walker bounced into a 6-4-3 double play. Just wonder what might have been. And
it wasn't a normal 6-4-3 double play. And McCutchen was running on the pitch. They were still able to turn it. I mean, that at the time was like, wow, that, you don't see that very often. But how, as you're pointing out, how big is that?
Right.
We didn't know at the time. And the Pirates really, I thought, were getting some good swings at Lackey early. First, say 2 or 3 innings. And then he started making his adjustments and taking a sting out of the bat.
Oh, 0-2. Neshek having just an incredible season. The best whip, walks, and hits per innings pitched and ERA among relievers in the major leagues. no walks, and 21 strikeouts over his last 15 innings of work. Hasn't walked a batter since July the 18th. And has gone 2-2 here on Harrison. Jay fouls off another.
You know, another thing that made that All-Star game so special, I think, for Neshek was that it was in Minnesota, which was quite a coincidence. His brother works on the grounds crew.
Yep.
For the Twins. I mean,
that's why that number 41 was so important to him.
It had to be a lot of fun.
Brother Paul Neshek on the grounds crew. It's a great story. The Midsummer Classic. Broken bat, so Harrison goes to get another bat, and meanwhile Tony Cruz goes out to talk to Pat Neshek, who came to the big leagues with the Twins. Comes back after he had been drafted by the Twins in the 6th round in 2002. Previous couple years with Oakland.
I gotta love that hat, huh? I don't think it's his.
I think it's a rally hat. Towards short, Peralta in on to first, and a bobble, the safe call.
Maybe the crack in the door we need.
And will go as an error on Peralta.
I think he was trying to rush this. Probably didn't have a real good grip on this ball when he goes to throw it. Just couldn't pick it cleanly. He had it in there. He had the hand trying to cover it up, but he missed it. The ball got off to the side of his bare hand.
Is that an error in your mind? That was the call.
No, it is.
It's a tough little play, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough play.
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised had they given him a hit.
I was going to say, so it's an error on the road, but not at home. I mean, that's the way it usually is.
One ball, no strikes on Snyder, who's 0 for 3. Neshek has given up just 3 homers in 55 innings. Ball's behind 3-0 with McCutchen on deck.
A 3-0 count usually will usually get a little break on a call when you're close, and this one was close.
And we repeat, he has not walked a batter in 14 straight outings. Backhand play, there's one, and a double play. Long to Peralta, to Adams. Worley reveals how his nickname Banimal came to be. Neil Walker and his wife Nikki make a special visit to animal friends in the North Hills. That and much more inside Pirates Baseball, presented by Allegheny Health Network, tonight after postgame on Root Sports. Travis Snyder, tough luck night for him at the plate. He's hit into 2 inning-ending double plays. As Pat Neshek gets him to bounce one to Colton Wong.
He took a ball that was down and away, tried to pull it so often you roll over on that and hit the ground ball. Axford now will take over and be his 5th ball game as a Bucko. Pretty good so far.
He was with the Cardinals at the end of last season.
Sometimes that's the life of a reliever. Wearing different colors every year. Half fastball will travel.
Pat Neshek getting that double play ball. Tony Cruz got that rally started in the 7th. With that soft single to left field off of Jared Hughes just after Hughes had picked off Colton Wong.
Ooh, how about that hook? Looked like it bounced off something and went straight down. This is a sharp break. Great little curl right there at the end. High pants, long black socks on.
Waiver claim from Cleveland.
More and more guys, Greg, for those knee-high pants. It looks like you see it all the time around the league. Neshek had him out there.
Pedro Alvarez in the backhand. That leads Axford there.
Getting more comfortable.
Let's go downstairs to Robbie Ince-Mikowski.
Well, Greg and Bob, the Pirates just finished their last trip to Milwaukee yesterday for the regular season, but John Axford, a former Brewer, might be going back there in October. You see, he's on the board of the Milwaukee Film Festival, and there's an award named after him. It's called John Axford Presents, and he presents an award there. I don't know the specifics about the award, but if you remember, Axford accurately selected all the Oscar winners on his Twitter account just a couple hours before they started. Now, the film festival is held the first week in October. So let's all hope that he cannot make it this year, just like he could not make it last year because he was pitching for the Cardinals, coincidentally, here at PNC Park while the festival was going on.
Well, maybe that all works. It's a good luck charm. Axford on that committee, the film festival, and hopefully will not be able to make it in October. Past Axford, Shane Robinson, the pinch hitter, with a base hit to center field.
Really important, obviously, to put a 0 up here. Keep it just a 2-run deficit going to the bottom of the 9th.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Trevor Rosenthal getting ready to Cardinal closer. Carpenter takes a strike.
Carpenter really taking his time getting in the box.
Another strike.
There he goes again. That's amazing.
Yeah. One and two.
Does he do this every time? Have I never noticed this before?
You know, I don't know.
30 seconds in between every pitch.
Maybe we haven't noticed it because we haven't had pitchers up there ready to pitch like Axford has.
There goes again on the pickoff.
Brian Gorman, the crew chief. Runner goes. Throw down. Out. And it looks like Robinson is hurt.
Hurt his arm?
Matheny going out to check on Shane Robinson, but also checking into the dugout to see if they are going to challenge this.
Looking at his shoulder. Didn't really see anything, but obviously he was in pain. Definitely a good out call, I think.
Jammed it there.
That's the only thing. With the way he hit the bag.
Well, he's out. I mean, no question about that. So if they wanted to, they could walk him off the field, right? This is kind of weird. Not sure what they're waiting for.
I think, is he dizzy?
Yeah, maybe he is.
Yeah, I think he's dizzy.
You're right.
They're holding him up.
Yeah, I think you're right. Did he also did his head get whacked there? Maybe against the knee?
Look, he's going back down.
Another trainer going to come out. Let's see if we can't catch whether Robinson whacked.
No, his head didn't get hit. He definitely grabbed the elbow after it hit the bag. Well, I have no idea, Greg.
Chris Conroy, Greg Hawk, the trainers.
I mean, you could tell when they were standing there that they were holding him up, and there's got to be some dizziness or something going on. seems to be okay to walk off, obviously, but that was odd. Didn't get hit in the head.
That is a bit bizarre. Yeah, he must have been lightheaded. Even a little bit of assistance there. Now ball 3 on Carpenter.
Still, maybe.
I know Axford. I was going to say Axford really hasn't been ready either, so not fair just to blame Carpenter. Tap toward the shortstop Mercer. On to first. Trevor Rosenthal has at times been shaky for the Cardinals. Let's hope the Pirates can rally here. Years ago, Pirates and Phillies tied at 4. Ninth inning, Andrew McCutchen. First career walk-off homer. 2-run shot off Brad Lidge. And Andrew McCutchen went to that dunk with the helmet as he reached the plate.
That's what everybody's looking for right now. Nice walk-off victory. But I hope we don't see the jump into the pile anymore. That could end badly. Just tiptoeing there.
I think most players decide not to dive into that dog pile since Kendrys Morales got hurt a few years ago. No matter, let's see. The Pirates can't walk off.
He's got 5 blown saves.
Andrew McCutchen 2 for 3 in this game. Deep to left. This is going to make it a 1-run game. Wow. McCutchen has homered in back-to-back games. That's 20 on the year. Pirates trail by 1. He greets Rosenthal with a home run.
We're going to go up there and challenge him with a fastball. This is going to happen. That makes it much more interesting now. Just 1-run ball game. They used up their insurance with the first pitch of the inning. It's just 94. I mean, that's great hitting speed for Koch. Inside half of the plate, it's down. He can just drop the head of the bat right to it.
Down 1 now. 0-2 on Neil Walker. Matheny has been asked about Rosenthal recently, and no question he's going to stick with him as the closer.
97. Was he trying to just throw like a little get-me-over fastball to that guy? It's not going to work.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And Rosenthal comes back to strike out Walker for the first out here in the bottom of the 9th.
After he went 97 with the pitch before, his changeup takes 10 mile an hour off of it. He'll way out in front of it.
Rosenthal earned his 38th save Saturday night in Philly. So he's had saves in back-to-back outings after a blown save against the Reds. He's had some control issues as well as Rosenthal. He has been much better on the road. Falls behind Russell Martin 3-0.
When you have a guy that can have control issues, you don't want to have patient hitters up there that are going to take borderline pitches, because the borderline pitches sometimes will go the way of the hitter, as that one did. He didn't get the call, now he's in a hole.
He's walked 9, make it 10 in less than 10 innings this month. And now Pedro Alvarez comes to the plate, and you know what one big swing could do. 24,352 on hand for game 1 of 3 with the Cardinals.
Pedro loves to hit fastballs. You would think that we'll see at least one in that strike zone from Rosenthal.
Alvarez 1 for 6 against Rosenthal. They got Seth Maness back up, but right now it's Rosenthal against Alvarez. Tapped. Rosenthal will lob to first. 2 outs.
Productive out. Base hit away now from a tie ball game. Got his fastball to hit. Drove it straight down.
Base hit could tie it. Ball 1. Marte has a couple of walk-offs this season. He homered on May the 2nd, and on May the 6th scored on that play against the Giants, the triple and the error. Fly ball to center field. This is going to do it. The Cardinals will win game 1. Marte flies to center as the Cardinals score 3 in the 7th to erase a 1-0 deficit. The McCutchen homer, just like yesterday in the 9th inning. 1 run short.
Well, Greg, the thing that you think about, I'm going to, for a while now, thinking back to this ball game, is, Liriano came out in a situation where he needed a good ball game, needed a big ball game after that real poor one in his last start, and he provided it. We just couldn't cash it in. They couldn't do anything with it. Great job by Frankie.
Bob will be joining Rob King shortly. Let's send it down to Rob now.
Thank you very much, Greg. Yeah, difficult loss for the Pirates, holding that 1-0 lead, that slim lead through much of the game. Francisco Liriano pitching extremely well. The Pirates doing some nice things behind him. That 5-2-3 double play started by Josh Harrison. Jared Hughes comes in, picks off Colton Wong, the base runner left by Liriano in that 7th inning. But the Pirates squandered a couple of chances offensively, couldn't cash some things in, and eventually lose. Pretty well played ball game. Final score was 3-2 to the Cardinals. Well, we have a lot coming up in the postgame show, but just like we promised earlier, it is Miller time, presented by Miller Lite. And how about Pedro Alvarez? Hit a couple of home runs on Saturday in Milwaukee, follows up with his 18th home run of the year tonight. That was the lone run for most of the ball game. Hit that in the bottom of the second, remained 1-0 until the 7th inning when the Redbirds push in 3 runs and win by the final score of 3-2. Well, as we mentioned, the post-game show is coming up. Bob Walk making his way down from the broadcast booth to join us. He'll have his analysis. We'll also have extended highlights from this game. We'll tell you where the Pirates now stand in the standings, both in the Central and in the wild card. Of course, post-game reaction from the Pirates clubhouse and manager Clint Hurdle as well. All that and more coming up next, following a 3-2 loss to the Cardinals on Pirates Postgame, presented by the Allegheny Health Network.